welcome everybody to our seminar, Demystifying Awards, How to Become an ESE Award Winner. And I'm Wiebke Arlt. I'm one of the EUWIN, European Women in Endocrinology co-founders. And as many of you know, that I'm currently also the ESE president-elect, and from 2025, the president of ESE. And we will do a short introductory round. So I'll first introduce my two co-EUWIN leaders, and to start with Cynthia Antoniadou. Cynthia?
Hello, everybody. So I'm one of the EUWIN co-founders as well, and I'll be moderating on this call. I'm an executive committee member on the European Society of Endocrinology, and I'm also Congress Committee Chair.
Excellent. And the next one is Jenny Visser.
Hi everyone, so I'm Jenny Visser, also one of the co-founders of EUWIN, and really happy to see so many of you joining. I'm based in Rotterdam, and I'm one of the focus area leaders of ESE, but I'm also involved with the Endocrine Society.
Excellent. And as guest speakers and discussant today, we have Henrietta Uhlenhaut and Cristina Olarescu. So Henrietta, we start with you.
Yes, welcome also from my side. I'm based in Munich at the Technical University and at Helmholtz Munich. And yeah, as you can see, I'm a previous awardee, and we are interested in primarily glucocorticoids in my lab in Munich.
Excellent. Many thanks, Henrietta. And Cristina, over to you.
I'm working in Oslo at the University of Oslo as a researcher, and I'm a clinician at the Oslo University Hospital. I have been an awardee of Jens Sandal Christiansen Award in 2022. So that's why I'm here.
Excellent. And now I introduce the three members of the ESE team who might also interject and play a role. We'll start with Andrea Davis.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea Davis. I work for the ESE team based in the UK.
Cool. And Janice Clay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Janice Clay. I work on the marketing team at ESE, and I help with all the EUWIN activity support.
Excellent. And last but not least, Claire Arrigoni.
Hi everyone, I'm Claire. I'm an event manager at the European Society of Endocrinology, and I work closely with Cynthia.
Excellent. Yeah, great. And I'm based in London now, in UK, and the MRC Laboratory of Medical Sciences. And I know the things from both sides because I'm lucky because I'm the winner of the ESE Award and of the Clinical Endocrinology Journal Foundation Award previously. And I've served for the last 5-6 years as a secretary of the ESE Award jury. Yeah, and so I can give insights from both sides. Okay, cool. And so we have structured it as follows. So we want to first give a brief overview. I will kick off with this, but everybody else will chip in. What kind of ESE awards do we have? How are the winners nominated and selected so that it is all more transparent? Most of this is also on the ESE website. Then we will talk, while we go along, about the experience of becoming and being an ESE award winner, and in detail about how do you get yourself put forward for an award, how do you become an ESE award winner, and we will hopefully have lots of questions and answer and a lively discussion. And Claire, could you confirm, can people put questions in the chat or in the Q&A function? Because
in the chat one for this one, yeah.
In the chat. Okay, so you can put questions in the chat, and Cynthia and Jenny will monitor them and interject with the question and say from whom they are. So you can also raise your hand if you want to directly ask a question on camera, because we are in a meeting and not in a webinar format here. So don't be shy, do this anytime. Okay, so then we kick off with the awards. So these are the awards that are highlighted in red for which we have award winners here. And I actually sorted them in the order of percentage of female award winners. So we start with the award with the lowest percentage of female award winners. And this is a Jeffrey Harris Award. Yeah, like, and as you see, 24 award winners and 3 were women. That is so far so lots of nominations needed. And this is actually a major award of ESE, which recognizes researchers in the field of neuroendocrinology. And traditionally, the recipient gives one of the opening lectures of the European Congress of Endocrinology. Yeah, you can discuss why is it only neuroendocrinology, is endocrinology not wider? But we definitely had a lot of spectacular award winners, just not enough women. Yeah, this award has been previously sponsored by Ipsen, but will now have different sponsorship. Okay, and then the next in line is the European Journal of Endocrinology Award. Yeah, and you see we are a little bit better with a percentage. We have 16 men and 6 women, and 6 women. Yesterday it was still 5, but hot off the press, the next EGE prize winner will be a woman again, but I'm not authorized to tell you who it is. Yeah, but we are very much looking forward to her lecture. Yeah, this prize is actually recognizing researchers who have significantly contributed to the advancement of the field of endocrinology through publication. That's the definition. And that's one of 2 ESE awards that has an age limit. And it is up to 45 years of age. However, for a few years now already, we recognize time that has been spent outside of research. For example, if you do parental leave as the primary caregiver, if you are a carer, if you have health issues or other things that added time and that need to be taken into account. And like with all the awards, when you are nominated, there needs to be a cover letter that details the merits of the nominee and the reasoning for nomination. And in the case of the EGE award, it asks also for a statement of 1,000 words detailing the way in which the nominees' published contributions have significantly advanced knowledge in the field of endocrinology. And all EGE awards ask for a CV, a list of the 10 top publications from the last 10 years, and then a complete publication list. Yeah. So you can self-nominate, but if you self-nominate, then you need support letters from 2 ESE members. And usually, in all the awards that are associated with a plenary lecture as part of the nomination form submission, you need to list a tentative plenary lecture title. So if you are selected, what is the title of your plenary lecture? And the EGE editor-in-chief, which is currently me, is the non-voting secretary of the jury. And the jury comprises the chair of the publication and communications committee and 5 members of the EGE editorial board that are usually suggested by me as the editor-in-chief. And I tell you that I usually select them on the basis of the subject expertise that is required for judging the nominations. This is why it changes each year. So I look who's nominated, what are their subject expertises, and then I select members from the editorial board that have expertise in that area. Yeah. And the winner is required to give the ESE opening plenary lecture and writes a review for EGE. And yeah, and Henrietta, we have you here as an EGE award winner, and in particular is this year's award winner. So great to have you. Do you want to tell us about your journey to become an EGE award winner?
Sure, happy to. So yeah, of course, I knew this award existed, and I knew some previous award winners and people from the field, etc., etc. But typical female, it wouldn't have occurred to me to self-nominate or to really ask somebody to nominate me. So indeed, I think there's a great contribution from Wiebke herself, who mentioned to my center's director that he could think about nominating me, which of course he agreed to. And then of course I did help put these required documents together, right? So I gave him my CV and a draft of the letter and all of these things. But this is one of the important things, I would say. Don't be shy to ask your, big boss, male or female, the director of your institute or president of your university or whatever, to indeed nominate you, right? So be on the lookout for all kinds of awards and don't be shy to ask them to nominate you. And then, of course, it is a real pleasure to go to the Congress, meet everybody, give a lecture, that is framed with music and strobe lights and dancers. And, it's a wonderful experience that, of course, I can highly recommend. And it's also really nice that you can write a review, actually, that, gives one of your graduate students maybe the chance to also, have a prominent first author publication and gives them a chance to put their, thoughts into perspective on your field of choice. So I think the award is really also about the visibility and, the reaching out that you can do that way.
Excellent. Yeah, that's totally great. Yeah, and I think that's exactly it. You need to be proactive. Yeah, you shouldn't be shy and say, yes, I know this wonderful award, but I will never get it. Yeah, and as a president, as a secretary of the jury, I regularly think of people who are very deserving, and I contact sometimes themselves, sometimes their mentor, if I know who it could be a mentor or line manager who could write this and has a good standing in the field. Yeah. And I think this is really important. Yeah, one thing is also important to say, that people should also try again. Yeah, so, the EGE prize in many years, in most years, I have to say, is extremely competitive. Yeah, and then sometimes we have a second voting round. Sometimes it's clear after the first round, but still there are very good runner-ups. And then usually they get a hint in the feedback letter to the nominator to say, please consider to come forward again in the next years. And this is not like something we just say, but that means you should really come forward again as long as you're eligible. Yeah. So, and that is really important. I got the EGE Award in 2009, and but I didn't get it in 2008. I know I was nominated also in 2008. So obviously you then feel okay, yeah, but you should just go again. Yeah, that's important to really go for it and be very confident. Okay.
Actually, I have one question.
Yes,
what is the chance of winning? Usually when you apply to something, you want to know your chance of winning it. So could you share with us the percentage of chances to winning, depending on the range, not just for knowing what you have to work for, kind of. What are the...
So the winner takes it all, unfortunately, because there's only one prize. It's not like with grant funding that you can have like 20% grant success. Only one person is the winner. But I can tell you, over the years, we had variations in nominations between 4 to 15. So it's a wide range. So some years there are few applicants or nominees, and some years there are loads of. Yeah, but it could also be in the year where there are 4 that they are all super strong. Yeah, and that could be really the much more demanding selection process. Yeah, you can't really predict this. And I think it's very important for women to be confident. Yeah, so to really have the confidence to put themselves forward. Yeah, not to fear rejection or failure. It's not rejection or failure. It's a competitive process. There are loads of people. Often there are long discussions. If you don't get the award, that doesn't mean that you're not good or that your stuff is not good and so on. This is really, really important. And when you're encouraged to go again, you should go again. Yeah, and not say, oh no, I didn't get it last time, because what does it cost you? You just need to update your paperwork from last year. So that's quickly done, and then you might get the award. Cynthia.
Since Henriette, you were the award winner, I thought maybe it might be a bit soon, but maybe we can ask, how has it influenced this last year for you? Has anything particularly good come out of it? Have you had more interest in particular types of work?
Yeah, so I have to say it does help with the visibility, right? I think all of us are struggling to recruit good students and postdocs. So it is, of course, always helpful to be visible in the field for sure. I can't say for sure whether this award has really helped, but I was lucky this year to also get an ERC Consolidator grant. And of course, it's always nice if you can put awards on your CV to, you know, convince the community that they should trust you and fund your research. So it for sure is very helpful in terms of visibility, invitation to conferences, or, you know, being known in the field.
Well, congratulations on that ERC award. That's
Thank you.
Extremely fantastic and competitive.
Yeah, super well done. Yeah, exactly. But you make a really important point. These awards always mean that people in your field have looked at you and found that you are remarkable and that you should receive this award. Yeah, and that's the other side. And not winning doesn't mean that you are not remarkable. Yeah, because it is a subjective, like peer review. You have a bunch of people in a room that discuss it and that provide independently their ranking. Yeah, and then there's some discussion. Sometimes there's a second round of ranking. Yeah, and that decides it then. Yeah, so like yeah, and giving the lecture is obviously a great experience, and then you can invite all your friends for drinks or dinner.
That's of course also nice. We had a very nice lab event, you know, that is usually very difficult to fund. So yeah, that's another plus side, I guess.
Yes, absolutely, and that's a good event, and yeah, so they're good stories to tell. But as you see, we are making progress here. We have 16 men and 6 women, so it's going upwards. Yeah, so that's totally great.
Wiebke, can I ask you a question? Yeah. So we'll have women in the audience that perhaps are thinking, you know, maybe I would qualify for the EJE award, but perhaps I'm not, you know, prominent enough, or I'm not senior enough. And I know that this is up to 45 years of age, but there's a big difference in how much output someone has managed to put out there, if they're 30 or if they're 44. So is the consideration about the award by the board just on the publications and the outputs, or does it actually get scaled based on the career level? Like for some funding bodies, they will take into consideration if this is an early career researcher, but for their career stage, they've achieved something spectacular.
Yes, but in the EGE award, you must think that you look at the scientific output, and then you have the vote on what people think is the most significant scientific output. Yeah, like, and so if somebody is younger, who has less output but is younger, that wouldn't in this award setting vouch for them. I have to say that, like, if you look at it, most people were between 40 and 45 or above when they put in, if they had exemptions. Yeah. So that's how it usually works out, because the expectation for an EGE award winner is that you are an independent group leader and have senior author publications. So this is not an award for you know, like somebody who had a successful postdoc, or, you know, like sort of, you need to be an independent group leader and have a significant body of work. And it's not so much about how many publications you have, but more about what is the content of your publication. What have you found? Yeah, this is why there is a statement of the 1,000 words. So how have you advanced endocrinology through your work? What is the new stuff you found and just you have discovered? Yeah. And you have applied, and what is the impact of this on the field? Impact is also important. Many jury people comment on this. You know, what is the impact on the field, on further research, potentially even on translation? We don't know, but like in most people who get the award have generated a mechanistic insight into endocrine disease, yeah, or metabolic disease, either by basic science research or clinical research. Yeah, so Obviously, the EGE itself is mostly publishing clinical and translational research, but we have many people who have done mechanistic basic science examination as EGE award winners. Yeah. So, but they do this obviously pretty much all of them in the context of biomedical research in endocrinology. Yeah, and that's sort of how we look at this. Yeah, so it's not. So I can tell you that many winners have significantly fewer publications than runners-up, but it's not about like how many you have, but like what is what can you summarize in the statement of 1,000 words what your research was about. Yeah, and one comment is obviously very important, and we had also this discussion. Awards are in a way like something also which is related to hero science. Yeah, and going forward, we want to obviously have more team science. So how do you get team science nominated? We had, for example, discussions of this, because there are often now papers where people are joined first, joined last, and stuff like that. And where, like, for example, 3 or 4 senior authors contributed to a major paper, but the contribution of one person is very significant, even if they are not the last author. Yeah, and I think we need to be open also as jury members to take this into account and not say, oh, this is not all last author papers or something. Yeah, this is very important, because we want to science will progress much faster if we work together. Yeah, so and that means we need to also be open of how do we assess team science. Great. If there are no further questions at present, we will have an open discussion at the end anyway. So I'll progress to the next award, which is a European Hormone Medal. And that's actually an award that, as you see, had 2 women and 8 men so far receiving the European Hormone Medal. It's also associated with a plenary lecture at ESE. And you can nominate for this award either by being a member of the ESE Council of Affiliated Societies. These are all the national societies, and also specialist societies like the European Network for the Study of Adrenal Tumors or so. And also the ESE Science Committee members can nominate. Yeah. But then obviously if they nominate, they can't be voting members of the jury anymore. Yeah. And the jury is a chair of the ESE Science Committee, the ESE president, and then each membership society has a vote. Yeah, so that usually we'll see somebody receiving this award who can, through their work and through their actions, combine a lot of support from many people across Europe, specialist societies and national societies. Yeah. The nomination stuff is pretty much the same: a cover letter that details the merits of the nominee, the CV with a list of 10 top publications, but then the complete publication list, and a tentative plenary lecture title. Yeah. So what I also can recommend to you is like if you put your CV together and your 10 top publication, that you also have a Google Scholar profile that you set to public. Yeah, so like so that people can see, okay, what are your top rated publications and how many citations do they have. Obviously you can also give your Web of Science link and your ORCID ID. Yeah, but Google Scholar often is quickly accessible, and people then can look around at it. And obviously Web of Science is a little bit behind time-wise and a bit more rigorous, so then the numbers look smaller than the ones in Google Scholar. So it's recommendable to have a Google Scholar profile and have it set to public, so that jury members or reviewers, in principle, it's a good idea to have this. Also, grant reviewers can look at your profile and see what you produced and what has produced how many citations. Yeah, so that's definitely something I would recommend for all the awards. Cool. And then the next award, slightly more women, is the Clinical Endocrinology Journal Foundation Award. Also only 2 women, but 7 men so far. So like minimally more women. And this is sponsored by the Clinical Endocrinology Journal Foundation. So that was previously called the ESE Clinical Endocrinology Trust Lecture. Yeah, and it's the same nomination stuff again: a cover letter, CV, 10 top publications, and the recipient will give a plenary lecture at ESE. And the jury is chaired by the ESE Clinical Committee chair, who only votes if there is a tie between the other members of the jury. And we have 4 members of the Clinical Committee and 2 members of the ESE Science Committee who are part of this jury. Yeah, so, and I think there must, and this is for clinical research that addresses aspects of endocrinology at the forefront of clinical practice. And I'm sure there are lots of wonderful women who do this. Yeah, like, and who just save women with gestational diabetes, like Cristina earlier when she joined. And so there must be women that could be nominated for this to bring this a little bit in more even things. Yeah. So obviously there is no bonus given to women as such. They need to be the best candidate, the one that combines most votes on this occasion. Yeah, because obviously people say if there are 2 equal candidates, then it will go to the woman, but there are never 2 equal candidates, I tell you. There are no clones nominated for awards. So it's always an individual thing in a way. Cool. This is a Clinical Endocrinology Journal Award, and now I need to just see if I can forward it again. Yes. And that's the Jens Sandal Christiansen Award. And then we come to Cristina because she won this in 2022. Yeah, and this is in honor of Jens Sandal Christiansen, who sadly died too young, and it is sponsored by Novo Nordisk. And there are 2 awards each year. One for clinical science and one for basic science. And the award winners give a short verbal presentation of their research at the award session at ESE. It's the ESE secretary is the chair of the jury and 4 members of the ESE executive committees. And this is like the EGE award. You should be up to the age of 45 years of age, but there is recognition for time spent out of research. And the special thing here is that you need to give details of the specific piece of research and project. So we would like to hear, Cristina, about your experience of becoming a prize winner. And also, what is it? Is it a publication? Is it a research project? What are you giving details on?
So thank you. Maybe my story is more relevant for early career scientists than the one that are have a big lab PI for a big research group. So I will tell you the way it went with getting this prize. The nomination deadline was in February 2021, and at that time I was home with my second child. So I was in the parental leave, away from my research group, away from the clinical routine. So just being very busy and with no time to invest for anything more than surviving in a way. The career plans were put on the side, and I was sleep deprived and not very happy to invest more time in anything more than just surviving. So one of my colleagues, a researcher from the research group I've been part of for many years now, a woman, Cristina Astrid Oistesser, she wrote me an email and said, you know what? I want to send a nomination on your name on this prize. And of course, I have never ever considered to apply for any prizes, not national, not international, not ECE prizes, not because I'm not competitive, because I am, but I never considered my CV or my career good enough to win a prize. I was competitive, I did my work, but good work, but I didn't think that I'm good enough to win a prize. And then I was thinking, okay, if she will do the work and I just need to update a bit my CV, then let's give it a try. There is nothing to lose. She does the work, so let's try it. So I updated my CV and she sent the application on behalf of the pituitary research group in the department. And then the answer came in May, on the 21st of May, and I won the prize. So that was a surprise. I was very, very happy. Of course, I was very happy. And because my work was recognized by the others too. And not nevertheless, I had the chance to meet Jens Sandal Christiansen in 2011 on a course. So I've been talking to this guy, and I've been discussing actually that the subject. I've been receiving the prize with him over a dinner table. He was the expert in diabetes. I was the upcoming star in searching on the effect of growth hormone on adipose tissue in acromegaly. So kind of small branch of the whole diabetes and insulin resistance is the one driven by the growth hormone. That was my PhD subject, and I've been talking to Jens Sandal Christiansen about this, and now I was receiving the prize named after him. So this was even more precious than another kind of prize, because it touched the heart. And then, of course, coming to ESE the next year and presenting my work and getting congratulations from the colleagues. And by the way, I was the only woman that year that was with the all big names on the winning. So I was the only woman that won a award that year, and sitting there with colleagues and people that I admire. It was a big thing for me in a way. Um, and then I've been now, when you asked me to participate to here to this, I was thinking, why are we researchers? Why are we doing research to win prizes? And I suppose nobody has on the highest on the priority list winning a prize, because that's perhaps not the aim of the career. We do research because we think it's fun, because we think it comes with excitement, we are curious, it may help our patients, right? And then it gives us professional expertise. It gives us a knowledge-based expertise and authority. So that's why we do research in a way. But I challenge you to put winning a ESE award on your priority list, because the award also looks gives you it shows that your work is significant behind your research group, behind your international, your national um, um, colleagues. It's significant. It has an impact within the experts, the one that gave you the prize. It's accepted by the community. And perhaps from time to time, it makes you think about your priorities. And if you have several areas you are interested in, maybe you can, the prize means something when you will prioritize on further work, like further, where should you focus your time? What's the area? What is needed? What is important for you? And of course, winning this award made my prioritizing list a bit different, because after I did my PhD and looked on this effect of growth hormone on adipose tissue in acromegaly, I've changed a bit of subject and went into the pituitary adenomas and the molecular biology in the pituitary adenomas. And then I realized that maybe I can keep both of them and not let go the one that makes me actually very happy and I'm very excited when I'm looking at the fat and growth hormone. And what about keeping both of them? And I did that, and I think it was a good choice. So yes, work hard, write that paper, be important in your work, but then get your mind out of the ball, or perhaps have a team that can say, um, that can wake you up and say, sometimes it's good to look for the opportunities and catch them, and apply for awards. That of course increases your visibility, and it also gives you more self-esteem, from yourself, not necessarily because it's based on your community that appreciates your work. So that's my big early career story about winning Jens Sandal Christiansen Award.
Fantastic, Cristina. I love that. Jenny, you have a question?
Yes, it's a little bit related towards this, because this is an early career award, right? And the previous two, Wiebke, can you tell a little bit more about, you know, the age range of awardees from those two?
So like basically the Jens Sandal Christiansen and the ESE Award actually have the same age range. I mean, like sort of, but the Jens Sandal Christiansen Award has also been won by younger people. Yeah, not only 40 to 45 years old. And the Clinical Endocrinology Journal Foundation Award and the Hormone Medal has usually been won by age advanced people. Yeah, like sort of, so like for their entirety of their life's work, so to speak. Yeah, like I would say it's fair.
So it's a bit more a career award.
Yeah, though, like obviously this year, like for example, the Clinical Endocrinology Journal Foundation Award is won by a young investigator. So I don't think that you can always conclude. I think you shouldn't say, oh, I'm not 60 yet, so I won't suggest myself. So like, but you should just come forward with your stuff, and then people look at it. Yeah, and younger people can have amazing body of work. Yeah, that can totally get the prize. Yeah.
No, I think that's an important message also for everyone here attending.
Yes, totally. And Cristina, you know, like sort of, it requests here details of the specific piece of research and project to be considered for the award, but actually it doesn't give any details how this should look. How does this look, the details? Do you know this, what your colleague kindly wrote?
Yeah, I had a look at it, and I've been supplying and putting the things right, such as they were right. It's based on the several articles I wrote on this my PhD thesis. So we tried to summarize. We had a review article on the subject, so that I think it meant a lot, because it summarized all the different articles. And then the statement, this application statement, it was kind of the conclusion of the conclusion of the conclusion, but it was not a big letter. It was not a lot of work to be put in. It was a summary, like an abstract on the impact, and having the articles, I suppose that helped. It supported those half a page impact that we wrote to apply for this. So it was not actually a big work to do, but we didn't consider it earlier.
Cool. Yeah, like sort of, that's good to know. And perhaps ESE will update a little bit specifics of what to put in there. Also, like sort of to because it's all about reducing thresholds, that people are confident that what they need for this.
It is said that it's given for a piece of work within the metabolism. Yeah, but then not more than that. So it can be anything in a way.
Exactly.
And my colleagues were seeing me as a basic scientist. And I'm a clinical researcher, so I will never be a basic scientist. I'm a translational researcher. So we changed from applying as a basic scientist to a clinical researcher, and I got the prize as a clinical researcher. So that also, the way people see you is not necessarily the best way. So I got the prize as a clinical researcher, not as a basic scientist, but within the group, I was the basic scientist. So just a bit funny, the way people see you.
Exactly. We are often all translational, and there's not so much a clear divide. But as we can see, there's a good gender relationship here, 7 men and 4 women. So I think that's like the strongest. Yeah. Cool. And what's the next one? So that's a Transatlantic Alliance Award, and that's a new award. And you see 100% men awarded so far. Yeah, like, but it has only been awarded for 3 years, and it says presented to a recognized international leader who has made significant advancements in endocrinology research through work and collaboration in both the US and Europe. Yeah. And in my view, it is really somebody who has fostered collaborations across the pond is for me an important thing. It shouldn't be just the super gong for people, but like the emphasis on collaboration should be really important. So the co-chairs of the jury are the current presidents of ESE and the Endocrine Society, and further jury members will be invited by the presidents. And we had already some development with this year's prize winner, because it's Felix Bäuchlein from Zurich, and who has done great work as a chair of the European Network for the Study of Adrenal Tumors, and has co-initiated and pushed the A5 network in America, and created joint work across this, apart from his great scientific work. And obviously the award to Felix doesn't change the gender balance, but significantly reduces the age average. and we think this is very important, because it's not meant to be an award that you get at the end of a long scientific life, but anybody could apply. And I think it's important to say you did endocrinology research in work and collaboration on both sides of the pond, and then you can make your argument. Yeah, so it doesn't, and it's always people look at who previously received the award, but it doesn't mean that you need to be like above the age of 80. That's not necessary. Yeah, you can take it at any time. Cool. Yeah, like sort of further questions. We are on the general discussion now. Any questions from the audience? Cynthia.
So I'm not the audience, but I'll start us off. So we don't have awards that are set for maybe early career scientists who are completing their PhDs or who have done a tremendous piece of work in the postdoc. But it's worth to mention that for the congresses, there are several awards for young investigators, and young investigator awards and travel awards, and everybody should consider those awards for their early career members. And if you are an early career member and perhaps your supervisor doesn't know about this, maybe you should have a look before each Congress, because that might enable you to also attend the Congress, and the majority is paid for.
Yes, I think that's very important. The European Young Investigator Award is a great opportunity and looks also very good on your CV. Yeah, and it is coupled to people who present an abstract that has been extremely highly ranked, and also something that is important for mid-career people, because the Young Investigator Award is mostly for early career awards, is we will release imminently the call for the new cohort of EGE Rising Stars. And that's specifically for mid-career people. Cristina is a rising star of the first cohort. And this is actually like a 2-year program where you are selected to become a member of the EGE Rising Star cohort, which means you commit to regular review for EGE. You will be trained by the deputy editors in the primary triage process and by the associate editors in the handling of the manuscripts. And you get travel and free registration to ESE in the year of your appointment and in the year after. And it comes with participation in the EGE editorial board and a networking lunch. And so, Cristina, I already wrote to all of you that you are invited to the networking lunch also for the 3rd time this time, and hopefully to meet the new cohort of EGE Rising Stars. And the first cohort were 12 people from across Europe, and also like pretty much 50-50 gender. I think there was slightly more women than men. And we are looking forward. And this is decidedly by self-nomination. Yeah, so this is a self-nomination process where people can complete a generic CV, which we make available in their format, yeah, and write a brief motivation statement why they want to become EGE Rising Stars. And the new Rising Star cohort will be introduced at the opening session of ESE just before the EGE prize lecture, yeah, like the first cohort was presented. So more on this very soon. Victoria Withy is on the call, who's head of comms for ESE, and this will be very soon released for people to apply to.
What are your thoughts on what should be in a nomination letter?
in principle for the ESE Awards, yeah, like sort of in a nomination letter, it is important to say what are your scientific achievements, but also to, I would always add, what else did you do? How did you support others? Did you mentor people? Did you do public engagement? How did you enhance, for example, this communication of science to the public or patient groups? Yeah, what have you done for equality, diversity, and inclusion? Yeah, all these things are important to give like a rounded picture of the person. Yeah. Other comments? Henrietta and Cristina, you have read your own nomination statements and contributed to them. What would you think is a prize-winning ingredient?
If I may go first. Yeah, I would say again, don't be shy on really pointing out kind of the unique selling point, right? On why your discovery is cool and important, or why your research is exciting and, you know, has fantastic opportunities. And so don't be shy in being, you know, really overwhelmingly positive, you know, about your discoveries, but also about, you know, really your passion for science, right? So, and try to get this message across on, you know, why what you're working on is so important and interesting.
I actually agree with this. You need to be concise and show to the people why is your work important, and kind of you are the one who can sell it the best because you know the best of it. And I also agree with Wiebke about trying to get the other hats of that person, not necessarily focusing on papers and the main hard research work, but trying to see the whole personalities, because it matters. And I didn't consider it too much before, but now maybe next time when we are going to apply to a prize, we might include more about this quality and diversity and other usually guiding people or supervising is part of the business, but that's perhaps not the most important. The rest of it's worth considering putting in an application letter, and I was not aware of it.
Yes, I think that's really important, and I think it's also really important. I often receive CVs from women who then turn out to have 1, 2, 3 children, but didn't put any of this in their CV. Yeah, when applying for posts here, yeah, like sort of we, for example, currently select new group leaders and new transition to independence fellows, and I think this time they should really put it in. That's important, so that we can consider what you all juggled alongside your scientific activities. Yeah, like sort of it's important to see that you did this. Yeah, so but it's really in particular women, sadly, who come from the US, who have done postdoc in the US, they try not to say that. Yeah, like, or I recently supported a young researcher who originally qualified in Russia, and she said when she had her first child, she kept it secret, because then if the others would have found out that she has a child, if her boss would have known this, she wouldn't have been put forward for a postdoctoral fellowship. Yeah, because women with children can't do that. Yeah, so but this is not the spirit we want to convey. Yeah, like we want to support everybody. Yeah, and people can be held back for different reasons. Yeah, it does not only need to be childcare. Yeah, but it's something that should be in there. But obviously these details will be kept confidential if you put them in the nomination form. Yeah. Cool. Any final comments or remarks? So, well, when we can see what is the impact, we put this obviously on the website so that lots of women can see this and look at the recording, and we will advertise this heavily, and then see what's the impact. Yeah, then we thank you all for your participation. Yeah, and perhaps perhaps you can all go on camera once so that we can shoot a little photo.
Yeah. And maybe you can raise your hand if you changed your mind and now thinking of, wow, I really should put my name forward for an award.
Hands up.
Hands up.
The reactions.
Victoria, that's good. That's a good start. But still some shy, but lots of people on camera, which is really great. Yeah, like, and so I think there will be progress. And we put it on the website for others to see. And Victoria just said quite rightly, we just discussed it at the beginning, the 2025 award applications will open within the next few weeks. By early December, you should be able to see all the details and the nomination forms. Yeah.
So start thinking about it.
Exactly. Start thinking about yourself, about colleagues and others you want to put forward and encourage. And I hope you have been enthused by Henrietta and Cristina with their experiences. Okay, thanks so much. It was good to have you, and thanks so much for liking it. And basically all the core team perhaps stays on the call briefly so that we can do a brief debrief, but all guests, goodbye and nice to have you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.